Yes, welcome to No Division Uncut. It's your girl KSpeak. You know what time it is. It's a pleasure. It's a vibe. We're about to vibe out and have some amazing fun, a knowledgeable exchange. You know what time it is. I have the pleasure of sitting with me. Coming all the way to Atlanta, okay? He does not reside here, but he stepped into the city. I got King Yah'ki, okay, Awakened. Now, I call him the alkaline herbalist healer. That's how I address him. He's known in the streets as Yah'ki. Am I pronouncing it right?
Yep, Yah'ki. Actually, it's really Yakai, but everybody nicknamed me Yah'ki.
I saw that on your story,
yeah.
Yakai, and I was like, "What? Okay, look, I'm gonna make sure we get it right on camera, online.
No, it's all good.
Look, we gonna vibe out correctly." But it's a pleasure. Look, this man is a phenomenal specimen of a man. Okay, he's a blessing. He does not consider himself a healer, but he said his herbs heal. The herbs from the ground. I want you to speak about that because that's a huge statement in itself. Oh my gosh, I want to talk about too as well, like before I even give him the lane to speak, because y'all are going to be touched. If you ain't touched, this ain't the live for you, this ain't the show for you, okay? Period. It's jewel droppers here, that's what it is. So this king has his own botanical health club, he's his own water, okay? He's helping the community. Okay, if you know about alkaline, veganism, you heard of Dr. Sebi? Dr. Sebi?
Dr. Sebi.
Dr. Sebi, okay, that's where I learned most of it from. That's where it started, but and we back and we're started. Again, I'm with the king and we're sitting here, we're vibing out. I want you to talk about me. You got your the Yah'ki Awakened Botanical Health Club. Mm-hmm. It was all black mechanics, all black built. Mm-hmm. That's powerful in itself. Why did you get started? How did you get started?
Well, basically, I say about 10 years ago, I suffered from my own health illnesses and diseases. I had high blood pressure. I had scar tissues on my heart. My kidneys was failing. I had diabetes. I had a lot of stuff going on with me internally. And due to a bad lifestyle, I was an alcoholic. I was gang banging. Yeah, I done been shot, stabbed. I got metal from here to here. So, I've been through a lot in my life, and my lifestyle started killing me internally and eternally. So what happened was my last visit to the hospital, I was actually having like a little mini heart attack,
Whoa.
Yeah, because back then I used to snort a lot of cocaine. I'm from St. Louis, and that's a thing.
We got where he from.
I'm from St. Louis, Missouri, and that's a thing out there in the area where I was running at. We didn't do crack or nothing like that. We sold crack, but we actually snorted cocaine. So I started.
It's a difference.
Yeah, it's a difference. But I started developing all types of heart issues from that. So I was having a mini heart attack, and I ended up going to the hospital. And at the hospital, the lady told me that if I snorted another line, that it was a probability I probably was gonna die, because I was already in there for so many heart problems. I had scar tissue on my heart, literally. So I ended up going home. I don't know, and they told me that several times, but at this particular time in my life, I don't know if my consciousness was expanding, but I took heed to it and it scared me. So I ended up going home. I threw away all my dope, I threw away all my crack, and I threw away all of the cocaine that I was snorting. And I sat on the couch and I just cried out. I cried out to God. I'm like, God, show me a path, show me the way. So what's ironic is I sat on the couch later that night and I turned it on YouTube. I had all these diseases going on. I had all these medicines, high blood pressure pills, messing up the side effects, couldn't get an erection. All types of stuff was going on.
And Dr. Sabi talked about that.
Yes, and it was happening from my blood pressure medication. So I had all the medicine. I threw away all the dope, all the cocaine, everything. I threw all that stuff away, but I still had my medicine. So I sat on the couch, cried out, and something said, look, you don't have to take this medicine. So I got on YouTube and I started typing in natural healing. So first this Caucasian man, an Anglo-Saxon, popped up, and I listened to him, but it was too boring. It didn't resonate with my spirit. But after, on YouTube, after a video was over, it suggests another video. So guess who popped up? Dr. Sabi.
I'm telling you.
So when he popped up, I pushed play and I was listening to him. And like he gave me hope, like he straight gave me hope for like the first time in my life. I done been to church, I done been in comedic science, I done been through all religions, and for the first time in my life, I felt hope. But at the same time, I was doubtful. I'm like, hold on, you cured HIV, AIDS, sickle cell anemia, leukemia. I'm like, get out of here. You know what I'm saying? He's selling wolf tickets. He just trying to make him some money.
Right.
But the more and more I kept listening, it made sense to me. And man, when I say I became obsessed, I mean every video I was just, I mean, taking it down. Then I heard him talk about his wife. Well, my wife, I'm not the healer. My wife, my eyes the healer. I said, hold on, I need to find my eyes. So I did everything in my knowledge and power. And you know, I had money back then because I was in music. I was on tours. You know, we was getting $5,000 to $10,000 a show. So I saved up a lot of money. So I'm like, I need to get him inside of my eye. I need to figure out where my eye at. And I end up coming across a video that said she was at the Fig Tree in New York. So now I'm looking in all types of Googling Fig Tree. Let me find a number. So I end up finding a number and getting in contact with her through New York. And then that's when the true healing journey began. You know, I learned a lot of stuff. From there, I went to herbology school. I became a master herbalist. And
wow.
I got my own compounds and I literally healed myself.
So you did go to school?
Yeah, I got so many different, I got over 8 certifications of master herbalism. I mean, but it don't mean nothing.
So you check the boxes. You say they don't mean nothing.
No, it don't mean nothing. I mean, you know, what's the difference between somebody learning this at home in a garage and somebody going to school to learn it? Just because it got a Anglo-Saxon Caucasian name that's signatured on there, that don't prove who you are. I know, you know, doctors can't even stand in the ring with me. I'm in St. Louis. I'm banned from all the hospitals because I be terrorizing them doctors.
The power.
Yeah, so it just shows you that you having a certificate or you having a degree in something don't really mean nothing. It's the knowledge and the clinical trials. You know, if you actually get in the allopathic community, you see that they ain't healing anything. You know, and then I just been doing this worldwide for only like 7 years, and we have thousands of healing cases with the diagnostic sheets to prove it.
So how long did it take you to take in the knowledge of what's going on?
Man, I say it felt like it happened overnight, but I always been like, even though I was gang banging and stuff, I ended up getting kicked out of high school. They told me I couldn't go to no more schools.
What?
Yeah, they straight wrote a letter to me, called me a menace to society, and kicked me out of the school. I couldn't go nowhere into the school district.
He could not be conformed.
Yeah, but through that though, even though I wasn't in school and I was gang banging, I was going to school and leaving out the back of the school, hanging out in the neighborhoods behind the school. One thing that I always had 100 in was science and math and history. Them 3 subjects through kindergarten all the way to high school, I always excelled in. And I only, out of all the time in school, I probably only spent a few months there. I was never there. I used to go in the front door and walk out the back door. But I did get them works done, and I had F's in every subject except for math, except for science and history. I had straight A's in them subjects. So it was something always turned on consciously when it came to that particular part of I guess what we can call my intellectual path.
Yeah, I'm thinking about my math grades. I like to count the money. I know how I count it when I get in my hand. Okay, look. I passed. Look, I was good with spelling. Shout out to Zayla Grun. She just made the spelling bee. First black woman. I was good at that.
See, I'm horrible at spelling. My grammar. I'm horrible at trying to speak this grammar, just this whole English. You know,
You're very well versed. Don't play with him. We're not gonna even play like that. I had to check the dictionary before I even came up in the studio. We ain't gonna even play with him. Okay, look, don't play. Your mom and daddy's came from mom and daddy.
Hey, for real though, I can't really articulate in this language. I feel like my consciousness, I feel like this language is too small or too compact to even be able to relay what I'm trying to express from my consciousness.
Did you hear what he just said?
A lot of time you catch me saying words that, you know, don't match what I'm trying to say, or I end up making up my own words.
Genius.
You know, hey,
look,
I guess we call it that.
I ain't trying to compare you to Kanye. But look, what you don't understand is what's seen as, that's not right. That's wicked.
Yeah.
What's wrong with that? So just because we may not understand how you're, well, I understand it. Look, I ain't gonna speak. I get it. Because Kanye, I don't get it. I'm confused. But this is a genius in its own form. You speaking how you supposed to speak, and it's coming to you how it's supposed to come to you.
Yeah, but no, Kanye is most definitely on a conscious level, though. He's very conscious. It's just his frequency. He vibrating at such a high frequency that people can't. They're not able to decode the frequency that he vibrating at. So, you know, things that we don't understand, we automatically demonize or looked at like it's crazy and stuff like that. But Kanye vibrating super high. You know, he say stuff and he's moving like 20 years and 50 years right now ahead of time. So people mindsets, they can't conceptualize the future and how he moves. So they look at him like he crazy, but everything he's saying, just wait 20 years from now, you will see that a lot of stuff that he's putting in play now and a lot of stuff that he's saying now is going to come to pass.
Okay,
he just
what
ahead
about
of his
the
time.
wardrobe?
The wardrobe, when you get inside of any type of psychology, you know, you dress to fit your personality. So if you look at the things that he wear, it just matches his personality. He's very articulate. He's very different. He's a rebel. You know, he don't raise to nobody's status quo. So I look at his outfit as his way of expressing his freedom of mindset.
Okay. And how do you express it? Do you rock name brand?
Oh yeah, I rock. I don't identify with labels like that, but I do rock name brand. You know, I speak to a lot of youth. I speak to a lot of young people that grow up in neighborhoods like the neighborhoods that I come from, which is some of the worst neighborhoods in the world. So in order for somebody to be able to identify with me, to even be comfortable enough to talk to me, I am gonna have to look like them. You know,
that's real. Okay, he knows how to get with the community. I love it. One thing, you're an entrepreneur, correct?
Yes.
Full entrepreneur.
What
is the power of entrepreneurship?
Is 7 streams of income. I mean, just last year alone, I made $1.3 million just off of one business. But the power,
I'm sitting next to all of this.
the power of entrepreneurship is just, you know, is backing your way out of this systematic system that we've been oppressed by. You know,
right.
It's being completely free, and the only way you can be completely free is to be able to generate your own income, be able to generate your own housing, your own resources, your own elements, and be able to utilize them amongst the people that look just like you. So what made me become an entrepreneur is I had to look at all the systematic racism that's been going on amongst our people and the things that are holding us back from liberation.
Housing.
And yes, housing, economics, education, religion, freedom of speech, mass media, because they control the medias, they control the information.
Correct.
You know, so I said, okay, let me create a platform where we can control the information. Let me create food sources and buy lands that grow crops for we can feed our own people. Let us buy water for we can give our own people something to drink. Like for instance, next week we're going to be in Flint, Michigan. You know, we own our own water now, so we're gonna bring a couple 100 gallons of water out there. And I meant to tell you that too, Nabi. We're gonna be in Michigan next week. We're gonna be in Flint. We're gonna load the truck
Water's
up.
still not clean.
And still not clean after all these years. But that's not Flint, Michigan responsibility to make sure that the black people have good water. That's other black people responsibility. So we have to take an initiative to stand in the gap for our brothers and sisters, because we can't expect any other nation of people to govern our nation. You see that? So if you look inside of any nation of people, you notice that it's hierarchy there. They have their own government structure. They have their own leaders. They have their own politicians. They have their own elders. They have their own religion. Even their God look just like them. And any other race, you will see that. But when you get to the so-called Negro race, our God is painted as white. You know, we can't. How can I identify with my God looking totally different than me, or my God is the same color as the people that's been oppressing us for hundreds and hundreds of years? So we have to start changing and conceptualizing our God that's birthed within from our nation. Our people should be able to choose their own gods, even if you're not saying you're following, you know, I call my God Yahweh. Okay, if you're not even following Yahweh, at least make sure your God look like you. So it's just a whole lot of psychological warfare that's been going on with our people. And that's what is breeding all these diseases that's happening to our people, because disease, it starts mentally. You know, everything starts in what we call the etheric realm, and it's by emotion. So every disease have an emotional component.
You said that. Look, I had that written down.
And we
did a live about that.
And we've proven this scientifically. We've proven this.
Okay.
So it shows you that if you were in a state of oppression, you are more susceptible to diseases than somebody that's in a state of liberation, somebody that's in a state of control, somebody that's in a position of power, because then they're viewing their reality in their environment in a total different way than we are. For instance, we go to school to learn how to be more oppressed. We go to school to learn how to be more of slaves. If a Caucasian Anglo-Saxon go to the same school, go to the same class, and learn from the same teacher, built through what his genetic code been through, he's going to always learn things from an oppressor standpoint. We're going to always learn things from an oppressive standpoint. He go to school to maintain maintain control and to maintain power. We go to school to maintain being slaves. It's a difference because what we have experienced through reality. So he would never. What? I mean, just think about it. If he ride down the street, he don't have the fear of being pulled over by the police and being susceptible to police brutality. So that's gonna make him have a certain persona about himself rather than the regular Negro, young black man driving. He's gonna be afraid when he's driving. He's gonna be likely. Right. His whole psychological process is different. Showing you that education will have to be individualized and it will have to be different according to race and ethnicity. It will have to be. You can't even do that at home. I got a gang of children. I got a whole tribe. I got to teach all of them different because they have a different personality and perception of way they look at life. So I can't, a math problem where I can say 1 + 1 is 2 to my son, I'm going to have to say, look at these 2 ducklings and look at the other 2 ducklings. Now count the ducklings. How many ducklings do you have? And then she'll say 1 duckling, 2 duckling, 3 duckling, 4. See, that's a total different process, but I can just say 2 + 2 is 4 to him. He'll get it, but she's going to have to be visual. You got visual learners. People say, oh, okay, I see what you're saying. You see that you have sound learners. People like, oh, okay, I hear you. Then you got emotional feel learners. People say, I felt that.
Hands on. Yep.
You see
hands
that?
On. I gotta write it down.
But it's all psychological processes that's going on within our people because we are psychological people.
Yes, and when you spoke about conforming in the school system, how you teach your kids, you don't, like, one thing he said is he doesn't force conforming. You don't force one way of teaching.
You can't. They never did that in
the school system. I got in trouble all the time in school for the teacher would teach one way. I would learn how to do the problem another way, but because it wasn't the way the teacher taught me, I got an F. Yeah, see, it's so all the time. But that's European concepts and constructs, and we are trying to break that whole entire system down and bring our people from up out of it. I'm in a mindset now and it's liberation of death. If you go back into ancient Africa, to ancient Kemet, to the ancient Hebraic lands, you will see the way that they taught their children was different. You know, there was multiple children. It takes a village to raise children. So one student had 12 teachers that all was present at one time. You see what I'm saying? They all, and sometimes you had to learn separately. And you will see the way how smart we is and how intellectual we is in Africa. At 12, you went through something called a rites of passage. See that they give you 12-step programs or they give you 12 grades, right? By the age of 12 grades.
Yeah, but in Africa, they give you 12 years. At the age of 12, we was graduating from high school already. Okay. Because the way that the information was presented to us. It's a difference. Like I'm saying again, schools in this system, in the European system or the European construct, or what I'm going to call the Babylonian mindset, is made to keep us oppressed, depressed, and suppressed. But the school system or the education system, or what we call the rites of passage that's in the land of Africa, that is literally made to liberate you before you 12. Because the whole thing is we must get to the mindset of the child before she comes on her flower or before that blood starts coming. Because once the blood come, estrogen is released. That estrogen is a cellular proliferator. So what it does is it grows her breast, it widens her hip, it makes her butt fatter, it gets her whole vagina canal ready to give birth. That's a maturity at her age. She's supposed to already know how to cook, already know how to clean, already know how to, and that's the reason why you will see in African tradition that the women, they put the baby girl in front of the village at a young age. That way, when she made it to 12 years old, if she can run a whole village by herself. Same thing with the boy. The boy went through a process at the age of 12. They literally took him and dropped him off somewhere in the wilderness. And if he made it back home after a couple days, then that means you have a right to be a man. Now you can have your own family because you know how to protect yourself. You protect yourself for the wilderness. Now you can have your own family because you fed yourself miles and miles away from your tribe. So now you know how to provide, meaning you know how to hunt or you know how to pick fruits. You see that? Mm-hmm. Okay, now you know how to use herbs because I'm pretty sure in these hostile environments you hurt yourself, but you know how to patch yourself up with the Judah root and all types of different leaves. And when you got back to the village, they all had a big old salute for you. They celebrated for you, and that was your graduation. School in America is way different from school in Africa. We weren't learning math and English and stuff like that. We was learning how to survive. Half that math and stuff they teaching to us, we don't even use it today.
Exactly.
So what is it in the schools for? You know what they need to be in the schools? Financial literacy.
I was about to say business.
You see that? The actual intellectual properties of credit. You know how to learn how to secure actually things that is backed by gold, backed by silver, backed by value, and value need to be a whole nother system inside of the school system. Just value. How do you love yourself, and what is value to us? Value for us is $15,000 watches and gold and chains, and
we don't know ourselves though.
You see, and that's the problem. That's what's going on with our nation. We are the only people. If you ask a Chinese what's his nationality, he's going to say, "I'm Chinese. I'm from China. I speak Chinese." You ask a Japanese, "I'm Japanese, I'm from Japan, I speak Japanese." You ask an Irishman, "I'm Irish, I'm from Ireland, I speak Irish." You ask a so-called Negro, he will say, "I'm African American and I speak English." So we're the only people that don't have a nationality because we like to disassociate ourselves with Africa due to whitewashing and white supremacy. They have totally disconnected us from our heritage, and they have totally like whitewashed all of history. Like if a black child, a little black girl and a little black boy knew that they were God, that they are the express divine nature of God, the creator of the heavens and the earth, then it would be impossible to keep them oppressed. So then you see in the 16th and 17th century, the Europeans went around and they whitewashed everything. They changed the face of Jesus, and Jesus is black with nappy locks. If you go to Russia and you look in a museum, you know, if you go to Pope and you go to the Vatican where the Romans and the Catholics at, and the Pope, they bow down and they kiss the black Madonna and the first child every day. They kiss Mary and black Jesus. They kiss the toes of her feet. But then if you look in our books, the color of Mary or the color of the Egyptians or the color of the Hebraic people are white. So they had to do that because if you can control history and can control food, it can control water and natural resources, then you can control the minds of the people.
And we're controlled though.
Yes, very controlled.
Death rates with us are 50% up.
They're up. We're highest in disease, highest in incarceration, highest in police brutality. Highest in mental illnesses, and also highest in psychological problems, meaning depression. And a lot of young black men and young black women are committing suicides, and black men commit suicide more than black women. And
we don't talk about that.
Yeah, and black women very selective with their suicides. They go out all cool, but if you see how violent black men, for real, they take pills. Okay, but a black man will get a shotgun and blow his head off. A black man will jump off the building. That lets you know the amount of neurological stress that he's under at all points of time. The black man is at war at every system inside of his life. It's GMO crops in the food. We at war with the food. Correct. The water is tainted with all arsenic acid. It's war with our water. The black woman have been weaponized against the black man. Correct. He don't even run his household no more. Correct. Child support is oppressing us. We are responsible for children that we can't even see. You see that? We can't drive down the street without being afraid of getting pulled over and getting our head blown off. Then if we do make it back to the neighborhood, it is Negroes that have a self-hatred within themselves that want to see you dead or envious of you or jealous of you. So everywhere the black man go, he's constantly been told that he's a boy and he's not a man. You hear from your woman, grow up, be a man. You hear from the cops, nigga boy, or what you doing over here, boy. So it feel like we always been missing something because we don't know how to conceptualize nature. The moment that the black man realize he's God, then he'll be able to unlock all that full potential that is inside of his cellular mechanism. But we need teachers and we need institutes and we need places that like me and Nabi and Kobe and Malachi Maccabee and Brother Guy Stanley, we building these institutes and these places for we can unlock the God that is within our DNA.
And I was reading in your comments, and I watched videos of you speaking about a healing house. Yes,
we got a healing house. I have a healing house in St. Louis, Missouri. Me and Kobe went in on that. We have a vegan restaurant out there and a herbal store as well. We opening up a vegan restaurant and a herbal store and a healing house out here as well. We just got some land out here too. Where is that at, Nabi? In Augusta. So some land out there, crops already growing out on the land. We got some fresh thermal in earth water from Michigan, and that's the reason why we have to do our due diligence. Before I get water to anybody, we have to go to Flint. You know, we got millions of gallons of water that's in the earth. We got to go to the people. See, that's the thing. We have to quit thinking individually and put aside all this religious beliefs. You know, somebody might believe in Jesus. Somebody might believe in Yahweh. Somebody might believe in Amun-Ra. Somebody might believe in Hinduism, God, Veterish. Somebody might believe in Skishnish. Somebody might believe in Buddha. but you know, we have a common denominator and we have a common issue. You see, the best way to liberate a people and unify a people is through struggle. All right, let's quit arguing over the bullshit, you know, like religion, and let's find the things that we can find in common to come together. You know, we all facing capitalism. You know, there's a famine coming within the next 3 months. There will be no water and no food. Who is out here securing food? We all arguing about what's the true name of God. Okay, you call him God, I call him Yahweh, you call him Yahweh, you can call him Amorah. Yeah, you can call him, look, call him whatever you want. The way you choose to conceptualize God is the way you choose to conceptualize it. You have a different personality. You haven't grown up how I grown up. You look at things differently. You got a different favorite color than mine. You have a different favorite dish than mine. So of course you're gonna have a different way you look at how God expresses itself through nature. I have no problem with that. But when that becomes the marker or the dividing point where we can't get together and we all of a nation of people that shares the same common ancestry, then that shows you that religion is a weapon of war and it is killing us amongst the black community. You know how many different religions it is in China? But guess what? When it's time for China to go to war, if they race is threatened and the survival of their race depend on the people, they gonna say, fuck all this religion. Let's put that we can talk about that later. All right, what's up with these military formats, though? And the whole entire China is going to come together. They're going to put their differences aside, the way they conceptualize God aside, and they're going to come together as a nation to protect the survival of their people. Every other people and nation do that on planet Earth but the black man. Oh no, we can't. We've been broken down.
We've been broken down. The black man has been broken down.
It's our responsibility to build them back up.
But you saying how are you reaching out? How are you actually getting a grasp on people? Because that's a whole nother level. It's a whole nother level of programming.
I mean, I got a lot of different platforms. You know, first it starts with the health. You got to change your diet. When you change, it all starts truly with the food. You know, a lot of people, I used to think it started with religion until I realized that religion was just another system of oppression. So when you really, really just look at it from a scientific way or a spirituality way, it's the food. The food is full of information. It's something called geographical location. Wherever you're from, you're supposed to have that food from that land. If you look at so-called Africans and where we're from in the Eastern Hemisphere, all the food that's out there for us was our fruits. We're naturally frugivores. What happened is we started eating the caveman food. They like eating meat. They like their meat raw. They like the starches. They like all the complex amino acid structures.
Carnivores.
Yes, carnivores. and that's not for us. Anybody that eat meat, you automatically kill hertz in your body. The body is electric. You know, every cell in your body have electrical stem cells in it. And what happens is this is what creates something called melanin neurotransmitters. Well, your body's electric and it vibrates at a resonance at a certain frequency. So when you eat meat that is full of dead blood corpuscles and it can't break down in your stomach because the hydrochloric acid or the pepsinogen as it's released from the stomach is not hot enough to break these things down, then what the food does is it turns into pus and mucus, and this mucus corrodes the electrical conductivity in the body. Have y'all ever seen acid on the battery?
Yes.
And the car won't start up, or it'll start up and then it'll short circuit because of the acid on the battery. Right. Well, that's the same thing that happened to us because this is not me. This is my body. This is an avatar. This is a vehicle. Mm-hmm. You know, I'm projecting through this body. You know, if I pinch you right now, I didn't pinch you. I pinched your body. You are different than your body. Your body is just your vehicle. But the same way you have to take care of your vehicle and go get it maintenance and make sure that you putting the right amount of gas in it. You ain't finna put no regular unleaded gas in a diesel fuel, is you? Because your car won't even start up. And that's what we started doing to these vehicles. We putting the wrong fuel in it and we wondering why our bodies is in pain and at dis-ease. We wondering why we building up acids. We short circuiting. We have brain fog. We have fibromyalgia. All these itises and these oses and diabetes is called the number one cause of diabetes. Number one cause of diabetes is meat eating. Everybody think it's sugar. It's not sugar. It's meat eating. The lipids that come from the meat actually coats the glucose. Coats the cellulose of your cells, and it don't allow sugar to penetrate the cell due to insulin. So what the glycogen do is it stays in the bloodstream and it raises the sugar. Now all of a sudden you have to keep working the pancreas, and it's something called the islands of Langerhans in the pancreas where it's producing insulin and sugar all day, and it's playing a teeter-totter. So what the pancreas do say, shit, I'm done working. You don't know what you want to eat. I'm just finna stop producing insulin and I'm finna stop producing sugar. Now you got your diabetes 1 and diabetes 2. So what's happening is we're eating food that is very foreign to our body, and it's creating mucosa response. Your mucosa membrane is a part of your so-called, is because there's no such thing as the immunological system. It's called the lymphatic defense system, but for y'all to identify with it, we'll call it the immune system. So whenever you eat something that's foreign to the body or anything that's outside of the body that's not in a simulation with the chemistry that's already in your body, it produces a mucosal response. And that's what's happening. This mucus is setting in our body and it's depriving our cells of oxygen. And wherever you lack oxygen at, because the life is in the blood, that's what the scripture tells us, wherever you lack oxygen at, that's where disease sets in, because now there's no longer a flow of energy. But in order to be inside of this mindset, you will have to have some type of psychological psychosis going on. In order to put a piece of meat in your mouth and you honestly think that killing Yahweh's innocent creatures is going to do anything good for your body, that's a psychosis. It's something, it's not right there. It's a psychosis. And I know some of y'all probably eat meat. I'm not taking shots at y'all. I love y'all.
I do.
But,
I ain't gonna even lie.
But the truth is, the truth is the truth. How would you feel if dinosaurs still exist and they just came and bit your head off? I mean, wouldn't you have people and family looking for you that's going to cry, that's going to mourn about you? And it's the same thing with these other animals. These other animals have intellect. They have consciousness. They're more conscious than us on so many levels because we are so suppressed mentally. Notice if it start raining, if a storm come, or if a hurricane come. Notice when the season change, you see birds fly to the south. Notice you see animals and stuff start crying and screaming out loud and moving, and then all of a sudden a tornado hit. You know, everybody is in tune with nature. Everybody is connected to the electrical magnetic grid of the earth, but us, because we've been so suppressed and we got so many types of neurotoxins in our body from the drinking and from the smoking and just from everything else, because we need to be out of our mindsets because we don't want to identify with the inner demons that's within us. So we have learned to keep ourselves self-medicated. So now when a disaster hit, everybody in tune, the animals leave, the birds fly off,
dogs run,
and guess what you see left? Niggas sitting on their couch playing PlayStation. There's a whole tsunami coming. He the only one that's not in tune. We are the only people that are not in tune with nature when we're the closest people to resemble nature.
But if we don't know.
Exactly. And that's the reason why I'm sitting here with you, and, you know, the reason why we traveling and doing everything we doing, setting up institutes and, you know, just growing this platform and healing thousands of people, because it needs to be people that are fearless. Black men need to learn how to be fearless again, you know, be willing to die for this, because, I mean, if you're not willing to die for it, you're going to die anyway.
What do you think about the divide in the black homes? Women against men. All of that
started from the Willie Lynch syndrome, though. You know, when they turned the man against the woman, what happened was in that letter, if you see the way the letter was set up, it said that basically you discredit the black man in front of his family, in front of his woman. This is how you lose, you know, any respect that he had from his tribesmanships. The best way to do it is to beat him, you know, humiliate him in front of the people, you know, pull out your little short white penises and they call it breaking the buck. Yep. You know, they rip the pants off and they did it to the most masculine man, you know, rip the pants off of him and will rape him in front of his woman and his children, tie him to horses and split him in half in front of the woman and the children. And then you show all the weak ones around him what you did to the head tribe ones, the one that was most masculine, the one that was a warrior. If you break the warrior down, all the weak men is going to follow suit. They going to be like, oh no, I don't want no parts. So then after they did that, they're going to take the women and rape them in front of the man. And then the woman be hollering for her husband to come help her, but he's so scared because he don't want to get ripped in half. So, you know, you go through psychological traumas and things like that for hundreds and hundreds of years. And then, you know, we know that cells and genetic makeup and DNA, deoxyribonucleic acid, passes down. So we have to understand that it's intellectual property and cellular memories inside of cells. We have the same genetic makeup and code of our ancestors. So now you see that we have the woman have lost respect for the man in the black community, and she don't even know why. And that's because this has been psychologically, subconsciously suppressed in her mind that the black man ain't shit.
Literally from cheating. That's what I hear. He
and
doesn't
that's
have money.
Yeah, he doesn't have money yet, but he's
not a breadwinner.
But look at what society have did for us. They took away all the trades out of the schools. You see that? And they put college in there because back then you was able to go to high school and learn a trade, to work with your hands, right? Okay. And you used to be able to leave and go to Job Corp or something like that. And I mean, fresh out of high school, you had a $30 an hour job being an electrician, being a carpenter. So you can go home and you can take care of your family. So they said, so this is after Hoover and them was in office. They said, what is a way we can bring this system down? Because a lot of the people, the black men and women that was learning trades, they were funding black malicious groups. They was funding the Black Panthers. They was funding all type of coalition movements. And once the presidency figured that out, they said we need to make these niggas broke because they giving all the money away to militant, rebellious black men that was rising up against the system. So what they did was they deindustrialized black people. They literally took all of the plants, because there used to be all factories in our neighborhoods. They took them all out of the neighborhoods. They took all the skills out of school. So now you can't go to school to learn trades no more. So now what the man left to do, he either left to go sell drugs or drink himself to death or to smoke weed all day. And now you see how many years of that, now you see what's happening. But it's an awakening happening though, especially here in Atlanta. It's a conscious awakening happening where the black man is realizing that they are more than what they've been told. The black man is realizing I can make money without working for no white man. The black man is realizing like, shit, I am actually smart without reading a book. So it's a movement in a etheric conscious vibration that is just, taking hold of black men and black women. And it got this devil scared. He don't know what to do because he like, we did all this and spent trillions of dollars to keep them oppressed, and these niggas is waking up.
Speaking about trillions of dollars, what do you think about the stimulus checks?
I think they trying to run the money out. It's all a political game to set up what you would call one world order, a new world order, or one world currency. They're trying to create, the United Nations is trying to create a one world government. And the only way you can do that, whenever you change a system, you have to implement new money. That's why, you see, even back then, you see the money was different in Rome. They used coins. They didn't use dollars. Anytime you crash a system to bring in a new one, you have to change the currency. So they giving you all this money because they need to run out. Like they not even printing money no more. Money is not even backed by gold or silver anymore. Money is not worth nothing. It's a federal debt note. If you look at your dollar bill, it says it. It's a federal debt note. The more money you have in your pocket, the broker you are.
Now that's deep.
Yeah, so that's why we invest in gold. We invest in chains. A lot of people think,
but you don't know the proper way of investing gold. You can do it overseas.
Yeah, no. See, you can do that here. For instance, me and my wives, we spent probably $50,000 last year just on gold. This year alone, I probably spent like $26,000.
He said, "Wives, we're gonna get to that."
So we are learning to invest in minerals, elements, things that are worth value, things that you are going to need. The one thing you're going to need is gold, copper, silk, and nickel, because these things is what conveys electricity. Your cell phones got gold in it. These headphones we speaking to got gold in it. Everything that we use inside of society have these precious minerals, and that's why. See, it's something called the right to rule. The original man on this earth was supposed to be put in a position where he was in control of all the elements, which was the oil, all the natural gases, the waters, the resources. So in order for the other people to come up above us and oppress us, they come from the ice age. They come from the ice age. So, they came up with a wolf pack plot like they always do. They very, and that's one thing I will give the Anglo-Saxon when it comes to survival of a race. They are very smart on surviving as a race. And that's the reason where white supremacy was birthed from. White supremacy is not because we look better than them, we run faster than them, and we jump highest than them. It's because my skin is dark brown and yours is light brown. That don't have nothing to do with racism. Racism was when they set out on a conquest and they went to each different continent and they started mingling with the people, and we accept them in. We taught them how to bathe themselves. We taught them how to speak.
We're the most welcoming.
Yes, we taught them how to, and that's what we messed up at. We taught them how to be civilized. What happened was our women started laying down with them, and when they started producing the babies, they like, hold on, these babies coming out looking like niggas. So this mean my genes are recessive. This mean their genes are superior than ours. This mean that their DNA is superior than ours. And that's when they realize, like, hold on, if this keep going on and we actually the majority, we're not the minority, we're a majority. And they say all these Negroes is in this world. If we keep this up, then we're going to self-extinct. And that's where white supremacy was birthed from. It have nothing to do with your skin color. It's all about genetic recessions. It's all about DNA and genes. And it's all about repopulation. And that's why they have depopulation programs. You see that? Eugenics programs. Everything is to depopulate. Notice Planned Parenthood. Right? Okay. What is the whole? Do you realize how many millions of black children that are not alive because of Planned Parenthood?
Yep.
What about systematic racism and police brutality? You know how many hundreds of thousands of us?
So you're against Planned Parenthood?
Yes.
Okay.
No, I look, if you can take care of your family, black man, have babies as much as you can. You see that, have babies as much as you can, because you have to, because if we don't, we're going to die out as a race. Look, half of our brothers are homosexuals, meaning you can't repopulate if you're homosexual. Half of our brothers are locked up in prison systems. You can't repopulate inside of a prison system. Half of our brothers are sterilized because they drinking this water and all this estrogen in it, and it's demasculizing us, and it's making us effeminate. You know, this is these
man being feminized by food.
Through a chemical called atrazine, through chemicals called arginine that's mixed with estrogen and estrogen, which produces something called pregnenolone. You know, it actually produced by a parasite called toxoplasma. You know, so many things that they're making in these laboratories or military bases, in Fort Detrick military base in Maryland, and they're using these biological weapons on us. See, a weapon is way more than just a gun. A weapon is psychologically. A weapon is in these laboratories. They creating chemicals. They creating fake mosquitoes, and you getting bit by mosquitoes, and there's all types of stuff in these. Like, we are being oppressed, depressed, murdered, and killed on all levels. The whole thing is to stop the black man from reproducing, because our genes are superior than every other people on planet Earth, because you are the reflection of God.
You talk about in a live about mixing. That's the easiest way I'm going to put it. Mixing with, first of all, you just said we are the majority, not the minority.
Yeah, we are the majority. There's the Hebraic African man, his foot done touched every piece of square root of this planet. You can go to Asia and see black Asians. You can go to Australia and see black Australians. You can go to Japan and see black Japanese people. You can go to America and see black Americans.
Just about the difference of the equator.
Yeah, we're everywhere. We're everywhere because we are the true original organic people of Earth. Anybody else after us is not organic at all, and we can scientifically prove this with their own database and research.
Yeah, that's deep.
It's called human being. The first three letters, it makes up hue. Hue means to be of melanin substance. It means to be of color. Man means thinking faculty. So in order to even be a original human, you have to have melanin, neuromelanin at that, and you have to be a civilized people. There is nobody that is more civilized than us. That's why I'm saying the people that are controlling the information make us seem like that black on black crime is prominent. Do you realize that white on white crime is hella bigger and more of a pandemic than black on black crime?
I've heard that, and they say we shouldn't even say that.
This it don't even make sense, because black on black crime is a byproduct of white racism. It's a byproduct of white racism. It's a byproduct of, and then look, if I'm staying in a black neighborhood and I am a criminal, wouldn't I be criminalizing black people in my neighborhood? Wouldn't that make sense? Just like, because you're in the neighborhood. If any criminal activity is going to go on, it's going to be inside the neighborhood that you at. So this whole black on black crime stuff is total bullshit, to be honest with you.
So we have some top diseases in the black community, one being heart disease. We have diabetes. We have cancer killing us at its highest rates. How do we change that? Even on your lives, you talk about a lymphatic system. A lot of people in your lives are asking about swollen lymph nodes, herpes, HIV.
I mean, we heal so many HIV cases, especially in Atlanta now. There's been a lot of brothers, a lot of homosexual brothers too, that's been reaching out, and we've been healing a lot of them of HIV. It's unfortunate. We've been healing a lot of people in St. Louis. I think that's where we get the most herpes cases. You know, St. Louis, as little as it is, we are the number one for STDs.
Wow.
Yeah, but and you look at half of these STDs are not sexually transmitted. Again, the mass media. The media is a tool of sorcery. That's why it's called spell casting, or broadcasting. They're casting spells. It's called the teller of visions. The messages in the movie get the picture. What they're doing is they're controlling information. If you can control the information, then you can rewrite the narrative on how you want. And all you have to do is broadcast this and put out these frequencies, and we are automatically. That's why have y'all noticed it's called radio station program or the television programming. What? These are psychological subconscious programming that's going on. So they will have you think that herpes is a STD when it's not. They'll have you thinking, I'm gonna break that down. Okay. They have you thinking that HIV is a STD when it's not. You know, they have you thinking AIDS is a STD when AIDS is the cause of any chronic illnesses that go from the acute to the subacute to the chronic. And then after that is degeneration. The degeneration or the degenerative lymphatic system is AIDS. You know, and I know this because we have the trial studies. We're in the hospitals. We in the healing homes. We are healing these people of these diseases. And they have been diagnosed by the doctors that they had these diseases. And then they go back months later and get another diagnosis by the same doctor that says they don't have it no more after they go through the psychological detoxification and the physical detoxification. So herpes is caused by a protein. Any virus is a protein. We are prokaryotic cells. Proteins are bad in our bodies. What we need is simple amino acid structures, because even though our bodies come from the earth, our spirits, who we are, come from the heavens. We don't even come from this realm. You see that? So we are made of star stuff. If you can do any research showing you that the so-called black man and black woman of this earth, if you check their genetic makeup code, that they are made of 95% of star material.
I've heard that.
Literally, I mean, this is scientifically proven. And if you check any other nation, they're made of material from the earth. So we know who the people from the heavens are, and we know from the people who the earth is. So if you look at what we evolved from prokaryotic cells. Every other nation of people is a eukaryotic cell. They mix with dogs, cats, monkeys, so they believe in the Darwin theory. I mean, I believe that the Anglo-Saxon came from a human hyena and a monkey, but we didn't, and if that's the case, then why we don't see monkeys in their evolving state? Well, I don't see a half monkey, half man walking around here. Showing you that but see, the people that oppress us control our information. So herpes, if you look up the Latin word for herpes, it means the creepy crawler. So herpes is not only a virus, herpes is a parasite. It comes from something called a fluke hemith worm. We pull them out of people all the time. So a lot of people are trying to treat herpes as a virus, but you have to treat herpes as not only a parasitical infection, but as a psychological problem and trauma to the nervous system as well, because that's what the hemith worm does. It burrows itself into the spinal column, and then it makes its babies there, and then it lives throughout the nervous system. And whenever the so-called immunological system fights and tries to kill the protein that this hemith worm is eating off of, it gives itself a mucosal response. And the mucosal response is the body trying to cleanse itself of the parasite. And this is where you actually get your breakouts from. So it's a parasite called the hemith worm. I have did extensive research on it. Maybe we need to start publishing this information, and just check out all my research on herpes. I did so many lectures on herpes, so many healing testimonies on my social media about herpes. It's people speaking from themselves, showing how they had it, how they don't have it no more, how they tested positive, now they're negative of it, going through our geogenetics herbal therapy and putting them on an all fruit diet. So herpes is the creepy crawler. Look it up. In Latin, it says the creepers, showing you if it's creeping, it's a creeping thing, then it's biologically living, because it's a parasite.
So I came across Yah'ki. Okay, I say Yah'ki because it flows just like I.
No, you can say Yah'ki. It's all good.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Look, King Yah'ki. I came across you. I was on a Facebook page called Alkaline Vegan Girls. Okay, and a woman posted chemo and CMOS. Under the comments, they went at her like, basically, you can't do Western medicine and natural. But under it, somebody listed you. So this is how I found this, King, y'all. Somebody listed you and listed your testimonials about your healing, and basically told her to reach out to you about that actual question.
Yeah. So
can you do both? Can you do Western medicine and natural medicine?
You can't. That's like trying to serve two gods. You can't do both. Because most of these medicines is made from oil, crude oil. John D. Rockefeller is who funded pharmaceutical companies. And when he formed these pharmaceutical companies, he owned a lot of oil at the time. The oil wasn't selling like it needed to, so he said, "Well, I need to, break into a new industry and make more money." So his evil, wicked self had a plot and plan to use most of the crude oil to start creating certain type of pseudo pharmaceuticals for the people. So if you look at what oil does, just regular oil from cooking oil, what it does when you heat it up to a high temperature, in order to even break down oil, you must break it down in 350 degrees Fahrenheit. What it does is you can't break it down in your body, and all types of side effects come from it because the body don't know what to do with it. So you get all these different side effects, or what we're going to call detox symptoms from it, because I don't believe in the illusion of disease. Disease is another narrative narrative that was painted by white supremacy. When the body is at disease, that is the body trying to get rid of foreign chemistry that's in the body. And when the body is trying to get rid of it, it's comes something called a fontanelle, where it's called an alternative route of elimination. And where, you know, my skin might want to eliminate things, and they call these bumps, they call these measles, they call these chicken pox, they call it psoriasis, they call it acne, they call it eczema. You know, that's just my skin taking a poop. When you get headaches, that's the pressure, because you're a combustion chamber. You're not only electrical, but you're a sound wave frequency too. So when you get headaches, this is pressure that's coming from your transverse colon. You know, that's because your body is trying to relieve pressure. Whenever your body goes through a state of elimination, the body gets symptoms from it. You then go to the doctor because of the symptoms, and then these wicked bastards will label your symptom a disease based off of the symptom and the location that the symptom is in your body. But these symptomologies are nothing but your body trying to heal itself.
So we're a natural healer.
Your body is a natural healer, yes, because you are a goddess and y'all are God. So of course your body heals itself.
That's why I say God is real. If you look around, you got to know God is real.
Yeah, you don't have to look in the sky for God. You know, I can find God just by looking in that brother's eyes right there.
And speaking of, hallelujah, you heard that? You are God. Hallelujah. Now, speaking of, we're talking about herbs. Do you believe in weed, marijuana?
Yes, of course. But I don't believe you're supposed to be smoking it. The moment that you put fire to any type of plant, it becomes a chemical. The body have to go through something called a metabolizing process, and this is by way of the digestive system, the pancreas, and the thyroid and the parathyroid. Whenever you eat something, your body goes through a digestive process, and these things create heat and friction. From these heat and frictions, it's a byproduct that's created from it. For instance, if you put gas and oil in your car, which would be water and blood, right? Gas and oil is water and blood, right? The byproduct from the gas and the oil is carbon dioxide that comes out of the tailpipe, right? So what is the tailpipe to your cells?
Yeah, because if you died, we sat in the garage, you'd die from carbon
dioxide. Yes, you see that? So this shows you that the byproduct of these things that we're feeding our body creates something called toxemia. Well, you have to have a limited factor to get rid of the toxemia that the body create, even if it's alkaline. You can eat an alkaline apple, you can eat an alkaline banana. Guess what? The alkaline apple and banana is going to leave back a waste. This waste cannot stay in the body, because the longer that the waste stay in the body, it corrodes the cell. If it corrodes the cell, the body is going to try to get it out. Well, how do the body get it out? Through detoxification symptoms. The symptom is a mucosa membrane response. Once the mucus come to that area and you still keep eating the same things, and you're not fasting or not taking herbs to help this elimination process be expedient, the mucus then covers the cells and starts sucking the cells of oxygen. And that's where your disease set in at. It's all the deprivation of spirit, or what we call etheric spirit, or oxygen, prana, the Holy Ghost, whatever we want to call it. Once the life is outside of the blood of the body, death set in. That's why you see diabetics have to get their feet and stuff removed, because oxygen is not being conveyed through their circulatory system through the blood. Wherever the blood at, that's where oxygen's at. So what mucus does, mucus is actually a defense. We just don't know how to let mucus do its job. We want to keep eating the bullshit while the mucus is trying to cleanse the body.
So it's
called excessive mucus buildup, because mucus is what gets everything out of the body. That's why you have coughs. You're breaking up agglomeration. That's why you sneeze. You're getting rid of antigens that's in your mucosa membrane. That's why you have a runny nose. Mucus is getting rid of it. That's why you have mucus in your urine. That's why you have mucus in your poop. That's why you have mucus coming out of your skin. When you wake up, you have mucus in your eyes. You get boogers. You get earwax. All of these are different forms of mucus, and the mucus is inside of your body to cleanse every single cell in your body. It's called the great lymphatic system.
And you talk about the lymphatic system going with lymph nodes.
Yes, because that's how I was able to heal HIV, AIDS, sickle cell anemia, leukemia. We didn't heal everything but blindness. And we've been working with 3 clients, and now one, he's starting to able to see the formation of his hand when he look at it. So I believe that we finna have our first healing of blindness within the next couple of months. We've been working on him for about a year though now.
You hearing that first on No Division Uncut? Look.
Yeah. Y'all most definitely hear that first on here. So we most definitely gonna get him he gonna have a testimony. He's so excited. He gonna come up, he gonna speak, and we gonna show his papers. He's been blind most of his life. So
how do you get the stomach to do this?
Get the stomach to do what?
What is the worst side effect that you've seen with cleansing, detoxing?
We done seen aborted babies that the body rejected, that they thought they got rid of, that's still been in the body. I done seen babies fall out of the
Wow.
vagina cavity. We done seen so many worms, hookworms, fluke worms, tapeworms. I mean, look, literally long worms come
Coming
up
out of the body?
Coming out of the body. We done seen some things, y'all. We really have. But you know, I got the stomach for it because I was a type of person that liked to watch like the killing movies and
See, they say watch the kids, they watch the gutted up stuff. See,
yeah,
see?
you know what I'm saying? So at a young age, I was prepping and preparing myself to see nasty stuff like that anyway. And then, you know, I'm a healer. So it's people that send me their outbreaks. It's people that send me pictures of some nasty stuff, you know. So you just develop, if the intentions and the will is there to heal your people, that ain't nothing to you.
But how do you find a team that has the same love to do it? Because you got nursing homes who are killing people going to nursing homes.
Yeah, and that's the reason why we building nursing homes. See, we building all of that. We building, and we got to come back up here for y'all can talk to Nabi. Yeah, we is, because it's, I mean, like and this is the reason why he's always with me, because he's the opposite side of my vision. Like, you know, he's thinking about the prisoners. He's thinking about the nursing homes. He's thinking about every Yah'ki. What about this? What about that? We got to bring this in. We got to.
I mean, it's bad.
So yes, but you know, and that's the reason why you have a team. And when it comes to that particular side, that'll be a Nabi interview. So most definitely sit down.
Look, you know I'm about to go. The nursing home, that bothers me.
No, sit down with Nabi and talk to Nabi about that. He can talk and explain this project the way he got that we incorporating with Yah'ki Awakened and the Risen Black Messiah movement. I mean, the shit is fabulous.
So is it ways to get on with y'all or volunteer?
Oh yes, most definitely. The website is being built right now. Shouts out to my brother Nigel PJ, which is introduced to me by my best friend and my business partner Kobe Pegway. He's building a website right now. We just got to take pictures and stuff together and stuff like that to have what we're doing. But the website is going to consist of everything you need to liberate the black mind and the black community. You'll be able to go in there and learn agriculture. It'll be lands that you can go to and learn hands-on. You can learn herbology. If you need water, if you need places to just lodge at, any type of training you need. I mean, it's going to be literally like an online black mecca.
I mean, this is huge, and y'all are hearing this from a black man. That's
praise
in itself. We don't think we can do this.
Yeah, but I mean, you can't do it by yourself. I don't want to sit up here and act like I'm doing any of this by myself. I have a beautiful family behind me that's backed by morality,
Amen.
That's backed by loyalty, that's backed by just pure love and intentions for the black community, you know. And that's the reason why I connected to Nabi so much, you know, because I seen his vision and how he loved the people. And I'm like, I've never really experienced love like that for the people, and how I love the people only through like 4 other brothers. So when he came on board and just his vision and how he loved the people and he wouldn't worry about himself, I'm just like, man, it's what we need. He like, you can pay me later. Let's do this first. And I'm just like, no, I ain't gonna do you like that. But I'm glad you put that out there, and just to see his go, you know, he in his 50s and he move around like me. He up when I'm up, you know. We ain't never at the house, is we? And he with me every step of the way. And it's like, you doing this Yahweh God gotta put something in you to do this. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm away from my family and my children and my wives all the time. So, you know, I think about them a lot, but I feel that the survival of my people is more important than family at home, because without the family at home, without the survival of the people, there won't be no families at home.
Do you get nervous? Are you ever scared, fearful in the line of work you're doing?
I mean, I was a gangbang. I've been shot, stabbed, you know, locked up and everything. Now I will say this: when they cut my brake lines, I was kind of nervous. I'm like, dang, they done got to my brake lines. I didn't even know they knew where I stayed at. They hacked my website. We ended up tracing the IP number back to a pharmaceutical company. They threatened me. Wow. They called my phone, called me niggas, you gonna die, nigger, and stuff like that. They holding about like $300,000 of mine. You know, they got a case against me saying I was selling pseudo pharmaceuticals, which they can't prove. And, you know, and the thing with the government is they won't bring me to court because I have the diagnostic sheets and the testimonies to prove my healing.
You know, they brought Dr. Savior
and you see he whooped their ass in court.
Correct.
So I don't think they want to do that again, because it's like, y'all, okay, if y'all got something, come get me. You know?
But they did imprison him.
And that's when he got caught with that $30,000.
All that,
but it was
embezzlement.
Yeah, but you know, Sabi was warned by his family to quit walking around with that much cash on him, and I do think they killed him, and I think that was their way to kill him. You know, let's lock him up and we'll get him while he in the prison system. But you know, I'm protected by the spiritual gods. I'm protected by my ancestors.
Amen.
And I have the will to do this. And I think if you think death will come on you. And I'm not afraid of death either. You know, I know there's life hereafter. I have many different bodies that I must experience. I have many different realities that I must conquer and experience as well. So, you know, and I mean, this is a filthy, rotten, low vibrational place for me anyway. So I'm my purpose and mission to be while I'm here in this avatar is to uplift y'all. So, I mean, other than that, I really, you know, I'm ready to explore different planetary systems and dimensions anyway. I'm not asking for a quick death.
He ain't saying he ready to go nowhere. Let's clear that up.
I'm not asking for death, and I ain't saying I'm ready to go, but I'm not scared to die for my people, because if you have to die for something that have value, because you gonna die anyway.
That's true.
And that's it. I mean, now if I can live to be 120, hey, hallelujah. But you know, if that's not in Yahweh's will or plan, and I need to go conquer another planetary system, I'm down for that mission too. I'm here for the mission.
Man, okay. So in a lot of conversations, you hear black people talk about we need to eat by our DNA.
That's
trace our DNA. We may be able to eat steak, red meat.
No,
helps with this.
We was not created to eat no meat at all. Meat is uric acid. Uric acid breaks down the blood. Uric acid creates protein. Uric acid obstructs and prolapse your bowels. Uric acid is cancerous. Uric acid corrodes the cells. Uric acid is an acid that sits on a 3.5 potential hydrogen scale. That's what you call your pH balance. Uric acid is very, very bad for your urine. Uric acid has all types of carcinogens in it. Uric acid raises your blood pressure. Uric acid causes diabetes. Uric acid causes all types of diseases. You was not created to eat any flesh of animals. Animals are here just like you with a mission and purpose, and to help cultivate the land, for you can eat the fruits and the vegetables, the melons and the herbs that was put here in the beginning in Genesis 1:29. We are not made to eat animals' flesh. When you eating this animal flesh, you're actually taking on the characteristics of these animals. That's why niggas act like dogs. That's why women act like female dogs, or what they call bitches. That's why you call a vagina a pussy cat. That's why a man that walk around and want to have sex all day is called a dog. That's why you call a snitch a rat. That's why you call a backstabber a snake. Why is we living in these bestiality and all of these animalistic natures and words? Is because we're operating out our lower root chakra because of the meat. Then you eating stress meat. It's that, you know, if you see what they doing to this meat in the slaughterhouses, they're killing these meat. These animals are crying. They're yelling out. They crying and begging for their life. And it's something called adrenochrome. If y'all never heard of it, look it up. And this is when the adrenal glands start producing adrenaline, because the animal have been put in a state of fight or flight by way of his reptilian brain or his mammal brain. These endorphins and all of these different dopamines, neuroepinephrine and epinephrine, is now being released inside of the bloodstream. So now when you kill the animal, the intellect and the consciousness of the animal moves through the life of the blood, and it gets stagnated in the meat. You then take this meat and you cook the blood inside the meat, and then you have your chicken and your steak or whatever, and now you taking on all the spiritual characteristics and emotion, which stands for energy in motion of these animals. Now you having anxiety, you wonder why your heart beating, you got heart palpitations. It's from the meat you've been eating. You take on characteristics of the things you put in your mouth. So just like you take on the characteristic of the apple, but the apple grows on the tree highest to the heavens, which is where you come from. The apple is being fed by all the sulfur and being fed of all the carbon and melanin that comes from the sun. So when you eat the apple, you are more at a high vibrational frequency. You're able to be at a high vibrational frequency. Ooh, this is deja vu. It's a whole deja vu moment. That's crazy. This happened before. Literally. This is like this whole thing. This happened before. That's crazy. But you know, when you eat these apples, you're getting the intellect from the sun. So and then the whole crazy thing is the Negro be like, well, I need my protein. Okay, the animals you eat, where do they get their protein? From the vegetation, from the fruits, and from the herbs and the vegetables of the earth. So why do I need a middleman? I didn't even like a middleman when I was in the dope game. I sure don't want a middleman now. Why do I got to eat an animal to get my iron and to get my trace minerals and to get my amino acids and proteins when I can eat the plant that the animal that you eating got it from? It makes no sense whatsoever.
Gotta be programmed. You even talked about stones and how stones have been seen to be wicked.
Yeah, and I love stone work. I love crystal work, energy work. I love singing
How powerful
bowls.
is that?
Very powerful, because you have trillions and trillions of magnetites inside of your brain, and you're very electrical. You're a sound wave frequency. You're a moving instrument. That's why you have eardrums. Doom, 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 doom. You have a heartbeat. It's rhythmatic. You have vocal cords. Cords is what's on a piano. You have spinal cords. You see that? You have a cerebellum, ding, ding, ding. So if you look at, you have organs. Organs is what you play in the church.
Correct.
Internal organs. So your whole entire biological clock and your whole entire body is a musical instrument. And that's the reason why we have to be careful of the music that we listen to, because, you know, the frequency of the music is at an A44. It used to be at B417. And that was called the music or the language of the birds or the language of God. Now the music is not made with elements no more. You know, in Africa, in order to make a drum, you had to use the skin from bamboo, or you had to use the skin from a dying animal, you know, and then you use wood or you use bamboo for the base of the drum. So now when you hitting this rhythmatic elements, you using the elements from earth. Right now we making beats off of straight frequency and radiation. You got a beat machine. Them 808s don't come from the skin of a drum no more. You know, them hi-hats don't come from you ticking on wood or ticking on something that's calcified no more. So it's speeding up our age. So the music we listening to, since it's at an A44 frequency, it's aging us. And then not only that, the sound waves that are coming from there, when we interpretate this by the way of our electrical system, or what we call our sensory senses, it's downgrading us and it's literally molding and shaping our brains. You know, that's why you can hear bust a nigga head to the white meat. You ready to bust a nigga head. Or you hear let's get it on. You be like, baby, where you at? Let's make love.
That's
showing
true.
you that music influenced the brain by way of electricity and stimulation by way of sound waves, because you are sound wave frequency. And that's why it's important that we get in the sun, because the sun is made of sound waves and the sun is constantly speaking. If you actually listen to the vibration of, or the vibratory rate of the sun, it goes and that's why the Tibetan monks, when they meditate, they go because they're matching the sound waves and the vibrational frequency of the sun. The sun is speaking you into existence. That's why the moment that the sun stop existing, you stop existing, because we are children of the sun.
So I need to go outside and listen to the sun.
Yes, at least 2 hours a day. That way, because through the sun is what converts your cholesterol into vitamin D3.
Humming, I'm hitting you, man.
Yeah, but I'm not for real. Hit me up. And I mean, and of course, you're gonna have to clear the noise, though. You know, I mean, and then we in the cities. You know, this being in the city automatically take 10 years off your life. Living next to a train track automatically take 5 years from your life. Living by electrical grids and chemical complex automatically take 2 years off your life. You know, we have lost sound. You know, if you and people that, like, have you ever just sat down and listen to crickets, you know, sing the melodies of the Most High? Listen to birds chirp and be in rhythmatic,
Yes.
be in frequency with each other. Just
love
like
nature.
just like women, you know, multiple women that stay in the same household, the sound wave frequency actually in sync they periods together.
I was just about to ask you that. Why does that happen?
Because it's a sound wave frequency. It's called synchronizing. Just like if you say if you had a cricket, it's a doctor. I can't recall his name right now, but he's into sound wave healing, where he heal you through sound waves. And how he figured out this, I think his name is Dr. Pielo. Forgive me if I'm wrong, y'all. I know I don't want to quote the source and be wrong, and y'all be making all types of videos. You know, they be on me. So
Yeah,
I don't want to
they
say
do.
the word. I don't want to say the word wrong, but I think his name is Dr. Pielo or something like that. If y'all got it, put it in the comments board. But anyways, how he found out that sound and we were made of sound. He was working in his car garage, and the car garage had a roof leak on it, and whenever it rained, you know, the water drops used to go doop, doop, doop. And he noticed that crickets used to come in outside. They was offbeat from the water drop. But when they came inside of the garage, they would chirp with at the same exact time as the water drop would hit the bucket. And he said, hold on, the cricket is becoming in sync with the sound wave energy that's coming from the raindrops. And he said, if this happened in something that's biologically living, because water is biologically living with intellect and memory in it. That's why you can speak to water and it changes shape and its modes. You can speak to plants and it'll grow. Or if you speak bad or negative into them, they die. Showing you that your sound is powerful. Life and death is in the power of the tongue. And then the cricket is biologically living as well. So he said, if this biological living thing can connect and harmonize and sync itself with another biological living thing, what about humans? And man, he did 30 years of extensive research, and he have now healed hundreds and hundreds of people just by sound alone, showing you that it's important that we use the right conversations with people. It's important that we be careful on how we speak to our wives and our children, because the words, what makes a word is bringing meaning to a sound. If I say boom right now, y'all didn't know what boom was until somebody made a meaning to boom. So now when you hear boom, something is either blowing up or something is dropping on the floor, or, you use it in some type of expression like that. Sound means literally nothing until you give it meaning. And then this meaning is what formulates the word.
I'm blown. Y'all taking this in. Y'all better take this in, because look, I try to drop jewels, but this is something different here. Like, we getting in here. Thank you for informing.
Oh, yes, all good.
I also want to know the biggest thing on packaging. What we buy all the time, half the stuff in here is plastic.
Yeah.
What's the difference between plastic and glass?
Glass is biodegradable. Plastic is not. Okay. That's the big difference. Plastic is made from oil and all types of different toxic extremities in the earth. It's made from the byproduct of things. Glass is not. Glass is literally like a salt. Glass is like a mineral. It's a molecule. You know what I'm saying? And it preserves things, and it don't give off fumes. You could put a glass bottle of water in the car, and the sun would do something totally different than when you put in a plastic bottle of water in the car. So glass is an element. It's made of elements. It's made of really minerals, and plastic is made of toxins. You can't break down plastic. The only thing you can do is recycle it and make something else out of it, or you have to bury it in the ground, because you can't burn it, because it would kill plants around it.
That's why they say recycle.
Yeah, you have to. If you don't recycle it, then they're gonna put it in the oceans, and if they put it in the oceans, then they're gonna throw off the ecosystem, because they're gonna kill the fishes like these evil bastards been doing. And they wonder why global warming is at an all-time high, and why it's famine. Yeah, I mean, it's all types of stuff going down. The Anglo-Saxon, man, he's the only man that goes against nature. I mean, this motherfucker kills everything his feet touches on. He suppress, oppress, depress, and trodden and conquer and kill everything he come in contact with. And this is not my own words. This is his actions. You would never see him coming anywhere and leave with something that's doing better than when he came. If he coming, it's gonna get left, it's gonna be robbed, it's gonna be spoiled, it's gonna be killed, it's gonna be raped, it's gonna be consumed, it's gonna be destroyed, because that's the psychological nature, how he expressed and experienced himself. You have to realize the origins of the cave beast, the origin of the Anglo-Saxon, the European, come from the caves of Asia, and in them caves it was an ice age, so he was not susceptible, and they lived underground, so they didn't have the food that we have. They didn't have the sun, which makes up their skin color, why their skin is the color it is. They didn't have melanin, which is why they don't have any souls, or they're not spiritually connected to Yahweh. That's why they're morally, as a group. I'm not speaking individually, because I know some good individual Anglo-Saxons. I know some good individual Caucasians, but as a people, them are some evil people, man. I mean, and just look, he didn't have zinc. People that lack zinc are more prone to be violent. They didn't have selenium. People that don't have selenium are more prone to have a territory mindset. If you look inside of their DNA, they are mixed with RH blood, which is Rhesus monkey blood. They have German Shepherd within their DNA. It's all types of things within their DNA, and you can actually see by the way they express themselves in nature. And again, this is not being prejudiced or racist. This is just scientific fact that y'all can get on Google and just look this stuff up with any type of simple research. There's a difference between mankind and kinds of man. We will be mankind, and that will be a kind of man.
Now, you were sitting here talking about religion as well, and I told you I wanted to touch on this because, for one, not to compare, but the only reason I'm gonna break down why I'm comparing. Yesterday, they're changing the way the KKK are being taught in schools. Mm-hmm. So now you can be taught the KKK in school.
Yeah, of course.
Right, but now I'm relating this. You are a Hebrew Israelite.
Yes, I identify with Hebraic Africanism. Yes, I do.
Can you elaborate on that?
So Hebrew, I actually speak Hebrew fluently. Hebrew means abari. It means one who crosses over. Yisrael, or what you call Israelite, means one who's connected to the power or the prince of the power. So if you look at the title of this word, is one who take instructions from the voice of God. If you go back into the Tanakh or the Torah, Abraham was given instructions to, take his people and his tribe from Chaldeans, the land of Ur, and cross over the Euphrates rivers. The moment that he crossed over the Euphrates rivers, meaning he listened to his intellect, he listened to his intuition or the voice of God, his name was then changed to Abraham. At first it was Abram, and then he was given the title of Hebrew, which means one who crosses over. He ended up crossing over from his fleshly nature into his spiritual nature. And that's what we all supposed to be doing in every walk of life. We're supposed to be excelling and vibrating high. We're supposed to be shedding and sacrificing the flesh, and we're supposed to be living out of our glorified body and experiences. I'm supposed to be able to come to you and say, I met a goddess. I met God through that woman. I'm supposed to be able to leave having a conversation with these brothers saying, I met God today. He supposed to tell me something that had me thinking for 3 days, like, dang, I need to change my life. And that's what Abraham did. He crossed over. Hebrew Israelite is a verb. It's a action word. A lot of us, want to put it to a bloodline. Me personally, it's just my personal studies, my personal examination. Hebrew Israelite is a title given to an African people. So first I'm African before anything. If you look at Noah had 3 sons. He had Japheth, he had Shem, and he had Ham, and they had the same father and the same mother, for those who believe in the Bible. I know it's a lot of people that follow me that believe in different ideologies, and I still love you, and we still can build and grow. Right. Long as you're not into homosexuality or you're anti-nature or you hate your brothers and your sisters, we can build. And if you is into homosexuality, we can sit down and we can talk, and we can create a program and a detoxing program to, reprogram your mindset, because homosexuality is anti-nature. I'm not here bashing y'all. Half of y'all have been through some things in y'all lives, have been molested and touched on by other grown men. So I understand the reason why your sexual preference is the way it is. But, what's wrong is wrong. And if it don't complement or assimilate with nature, then we will have to say that is a negative aspect in this reality, because we have to be fruitful and multiply, and you have to be able to reproduce, because our race and the survival of our race depends on that. So I'm not sitting up here acting like, I hate anybody that's gay. That's not the truth at all. I love y'all just like I love any other brother, but there is a psychological psychosis there that we will have to deal with. So if you look at Noah and his 3 sons, all of them had the same mother and the same father. Well, if you get to certain teachers of the Bible, which shouldn't be teachers at all, they will have you believe that these 3 people that had the same mother and same father came out to be 3 totally different races. And I don't identify with that. I believe that Ham is my brother. If I'm saying I'm Shemitic, then I'm saying Ham is my brother. Because Ham, my brother, my younger brother, had the same mother and the same father as me. So I'm going to come out the same color with the same biological genetic makeup and structure. So I identify with Hebraic African. I don't disassociate myself from Africanism. I don't separate myself from the African over in the motherland. I embrace them and I call them my brother, because guess what? If I get my DNA tested, my black ass going back to Africa. I'm not going back to Asian.
And I didn't even get the question out, because the question was, Hebrews are how I told you when I was informed about it, when I saw videos, I thought it was a cult. All the videos look scary. Mm-hmm. That was what you were told, that they were going against the grain.
Yeah, that's the religion though. I'm not a part of religion. Okay. Yeah, that's religion. I don't believe in religion. I don't believe in none of that. When you actually read the Bible, there's major contradictions and everything within inside of it, but it's truth in the Bible too. The Bible actually changed my life. But I'm not a religious fool. If I see something and something don't add up and it don't resonate with my spirit, that is my choice and my prerogative whether to, in sync myself with the idealism or not. And so I'm not into the cult. I listen to all things. I'm very open-minded. My consciousness is wide open. I'm willing to examine anything. And if it makes sense, then I will take it. If it don't make sense and it's just a little piece of it that makes sense, then I will take that little bit. We have to stop trying to conceptualize God. It's like trying to put the ocean in a water bottle. You can't put the ocean in a water bottle, meaning you can't conceptualize God. How are you going to put Yahweh, the creator, the universal creator of all things, in a bottle and then try to teach that to a people? It's like looking at the universe through a keyhole. And why do I have to do that when I can step back and see the whole universe? So I'm not limited just to that doctrine. I'm not limited to the Bible. I'm not limited to none of that. I am for what makes sense. I'm for what resonate with my spirit, and I'm for what liberates my people and what solve the issues that's going on with inside the black community. And one of the major problems with the black community is religion.
Correct.
So Hebrew Israelite, being a Hebraic African by genetics, I'm totally with. But being a Hebrew Israelite by way of doctrine, I'm totally against, because that's what is causing the limited minds of our people.
Okay, so you basically dissected the religion and chose kind of what parts to believe in?
Not that necessarily. I chose to resonate with the parts that make sense, and that's a part of liberation.
And
for
we
instance,
don't do that.
no. For instance, in the Hebrew Bible, it says that you don't talk to the Egyptians, don't make covenant with the Egyptians. There's a difference between you and the Egyptians. I believe that mindset, due to mindset, yes, there's a psychological distinction between the two so-called groups. But if you check the biology and if you check the DNA, the Egyptians share, the Kemet they share the same exact DNA and chemical biology makeup as me. So I just feel like the Hebrew Israelite doctrine have you separating and individualizing yourself from other Africans, and that's what's keeping us down, because every other nation on planet Earth have put these things aside to come together for a common collective for the survival of their race, and we're the only people that's still worrying about Christianity,
Divided.
Hebrew, Baptist, and this and that. And I can't build and hang with him because he believes he's an Egyptian. I can't build and hang with her because she believes she's a Hebrew. And all. Look, let's put all that bullshit to the side, and look, we got common issues going on. We're dying, police brutality, poor education. The economic situation we in is crazy. $2.3 billion passes our hands every single year, and we're not doing nothing with it. We could have been out of here. We could have been liberated our people, but religion and gangs is keeping us divided. So religion is the new, and I'm not on this platform to talk about my Hebrew brothers. I love them. I identify as a Hebrew, but the doctrine have became worse than the gangs. The gangs just kills you physically, but that doctrine is killing us mentally.
Man, and I was going to ask you the beliefs, because a lot of Hebrews I was reading, informing myself, are against contraceptives, believe in polygamy, multiple wives. So I was trying to see if that was your flow.
Oh yeah, so yeah, I got multiple wives. I do believe in it. I think it takes multiple wives to truly build a nation. But if you look in nature, remember, nature is my teacher. Nature is the way that I look at how God expressed himself. When you get into nature, you see, lions. Lions have multiple women. But you see the gorilla. The gorilla only have one woman. So I believe in monogamy and polygyny. I just choose to be polygyny. I'm building a nation. I got, a lot of different businesses, and I put my whole family on. All of my wives are doing something for my businesses. My wives actually work with me. If it wasn't for my wives, I wouldn't have became a millionaire. They grinded and did everything out with me. But I'm not gonna knock not being his queen. He only got one wife. He only believe in one wife. But they work together hard, just like all of my wives work together hard with me. I just believe it's a preference, and it's actually what you're trying to do within the community. It takes a village to actually raise up a family and raise up a nation. And I just chose to use multiple women to do so. I really don't trust men like that. It's a select group of men that hang around me.
That does not mean y'all jump around, because all y'all ain't building nations. That's why I asked too, because look, the loyalty is low in the black community, and that's like, for real. We talk about polygamy. It's a hot topic right now.
Yeah, but see, I don't believe in polygamy. I believe in polygyny. So it's a difference,
Please elaborate, because I didn't know.
Yeah, polygamy is that's saying that women can have multiple men. That goes against nature.
Oh,
so
okay.
if it goes,
if
it goes against nature, then I can't do it. So look, I'm gonna keep it real. Say if in nature we seen a woman, eyes off.
Yeah.
Say in nature, if we seen a woman, right? In nature, I seen a woman that can get pregnant by multiple men and have multiple babies, at one time. I'd be all for it because I see it in nature. But the thing about this is, a man can have 100 babies in one day if he choose to. You know, if he boning all day and he sleep with 100 different women, he can get 100 different women pregnant. A woman can only be pregnant one time by one man. She can have multiple babies at one time by one man, you know, twins, quadruplets and stuff like that. But she can't get pregnant multiple times by multiple men at one time.
But where's the mental? Because the way it's used here, women, the way we're portrayed on TV is weak. If you're with a man, if the man has multiple women, he's most of the time treating them like shit. Let's be clear.
Well, I don't treat mine like shit, and my women are goddesses. My women make power moves. My women are millionaires. My women rule. Like my women are powerful. My women are divine. You know, I look at them like goddesses. They're a reflection of me, and I'm God, so I got goddesses. I don't have bitches, hoes, weak women. You know, they're my opposite strength. Like in the book of Bereshith, or what they call Genesis, you know, it said that I'm gonna create a help meet for him. Obviously, his ass didn't have it all figured out if he needed help. So, you know, that's how I look at the woman. If she's helping me, then that means that I don't have 100% of my intellectual capacity to do this by myself. And he created the woman, you know, valuer. In Hebrew, valuer means woman of strength. That's the same exact definition of a woman, a man of war. So your woman is a warrior. And that's the reason why in the chess game, the queen protects the king. Why don't the king protect the queen on the chess game? Because y'all are intellectually, and creatively, more in a intuitive sense is higher than our frequency. You know, I mean, by science, and I know I'm gonna get a lot of backlash from it, but you know, I don't give a fuck. The black woman is spiritually, intellectually heightened more than the black man. Okay. And that's the reason why.
Because we create.
Yeah, y'all create. Y'all wombs are the portals to earth. Can't no man come in this substance without coming through your womb, your vagina canal. That is the portal to this dimension. And then to go back to another dimension is through your womb. You know, so y'all, and it's deeper than that too. Just how intuitive y'all is, how y'all able. See, man is logical. I can come build a house, but the woman is going to turn the house into a home. Sweet. I can build the table and go get the food, but the woman is going to take that food that I provided and turn it into a meal. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So it's just a difference, and it's opposite strength. That's all it is. It's opposite strengths. So I don't think the woman is weaker. I think the woman is the opposite strength, and that's the way we have to start looking at it. Because in order to even raise a nation of people, guess what we gonna need? The black woman. Because without the womb of a black woman, you cannot raise any babies and won't nothing come through that matrix. So I think we need to stop. And that's another thing that I got about my Hebrew brothers. We tend to want to bash the women and act like the women is just like a piece of shit or a speck on the wall. Like they didn't birth Israel, or like without y'all, like Deborah and all the mighty things that y'all did for the survival of our nation, like y'all didn't do anything when actually y'all did everything. So, you know, it's just a different concept and a different ideology. Again, I'm cool. You can believe differently than me and we still can build, you know, long as you are not going against nature, then I'm cool with that. So, I mean, I agree to disagree with other people. People will say, Yah'ki, you wrong for that. I don't see it that way. But, you know, y'all always choose the masculine parts of religion to go by. And that's a form of homosexuality to me. Balance comes with male and female. You have a left hemisphere of your brain, which is your logical masculine side. And you have a right hemisphere of your brain, which is your feminine side. You know, you have a negative and positive. Yeah, we have lost balance. And without woman, a man will not be balanced. You are my feminine aspect.
And you're talking about women, so I got to touch on this. With the trends in the world, women are losing their rights. Trans women are taking over a lot, and that's not knocking anything, but to sports, it's little girls who are...
Yeah. That's the agenda. Yeah, the agenda is to the annihilation of the black man. It's all about the annihilation of the black man, because the black man is what have life inside of his testicles. That's what breeds sperm. Testosterone and zinc mixed together is what creates life. So,
but the woman too, because we're not even seen as women anymore. Yeah, natural bodies aren't in.
Yeah, I mean, but that's to a slavery mentality Negro. That's why we have to set up institutes. I don't want fake tits and a fake butt. You know,
it's not talked about enough.
I love light-skinned women to life. I don't do the difference between light and dark, but I like me a blue, black, chocolate, curvy woman.
He said blue, black.
You know what I'm saying? Nappy hair. That's just, and, you know, and I see Umar speak about that a lot. I say, boy, that we like-minded, because I see it the same way. And I'm not knocking light skin either. I have a light skinned wife. I have 2 light skinned wives. Beautiful. You know what I'm saying? But we have been, it's the media, y'all. It's what the media have been doing to us, y'all. They make us look like that we're dumb and we're worthless and we're not worth anything. And in order to be worth anything, you have to look like them. That's why you see black women getting all their straight weave in their hair. Black women are changing the colors of their eyes, wearing contacts. Black women are now bleaching their skin. They're trying to assimilate and imitate the very woman that's been oppressing them. But it makes sense. If you are looking at somebody that's been oppressing you like God, and the only way that you can feel free, of course you're going to want to look like them, because when you think of freedom, you think of them. So it's just a way of all black women trying to be free. So I'm not here downing the black goddess at all, nor the black man, because I understand and I can identify with how you thinking, because I went through that same psychological trauma and psychosis in a time period in my life as well.
And again, if you were tuned, I didn't say it the first time. If you're tuned into Facebook Live, we do apologize. Facebook keeps knocking our broadcast down, but we still locked and loaded on Instagram and the other platforms. So yes, pay attention. Mm-hmm. I'm sitting with Yah'ki, the King Awakened. Okay, Yah'ki Awakened. Y'all need to follow him. This man has a full website with over 100 herbs, consultations to talk to him, to get meal plans, dietary supplements. You have powders, vaginal steams.
We got everything.
And I have to ask you, okay, one of the cleansings, and that's something I want to do. I want to do the vaginal pearls. Have you heard about that?
Yeah, the pearls.
Yeah, so my gynecologist didn't know about it.
Yeah, the pearls are cool, but I would say this: nothing's supposed to go inside of a woman's vagina but penis. So
you said that blunt.
Yeah.
Straightforward, like that. Okay, so we don't sit them in there for 3 days?
No,
that's how the pearls work.
Only thing you put in your vagina is a hard penis.
Well, what about douching? You have douching on your side?
I mean that's douching, and that's herbal douching. You know, when you douching, herbal douching, you just putting something in there and you spraying that electrical water to cleanse out the vagina canal.
Well, we're told not to do that.
And to regenerate the flora and the good bacteria inside of your vagina. The vagina have trillions and trillions of biobifidum bacteria in it and microbes in it, and it needs it because it's eat up the acidic acid that the endometrium cells that lines the cervix is producing. So you have something called the endometrium cells that lines your cervix, you know, and it's connected to the fallopian tubes, and this is what sheds its skin every month, and that's what produces blood. That blood is a menstrual cycle or a detoxification symptom. Your vagina canal cleanses itself every month. The only thing you're supposed to be sticking up there again is a erected penis. Nothing's supposed to go inside of that portal but life.
So you're not even into toys. We can't even say toys is okay.
No, I wouldn't. I mean, I
the rose is hitting the hot.
Yeah, I know the rose is, but I mean, you got a man for that, you know.
Whatever.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
Whatever. We gonna vibrate it high.
I mean, you see the first dildo and vibrator. You see them in Egypt. You know, like it has been. They had golden rods, literally golden penises. That they.
And you don't talk a lot about Egypt.
Yeah, because I'm trying to. The reason why I don't identify with Egypt or Kemet a lot is because we have Negroes in America that needs to be breaking away from America first, you know, and then it's steps. Then we can go back through Christianity. Then from Christianity, which Christianity come out of ancient Kemet, we can go back into the Hebraic movement, and then we can go farther and back into Kemet. Then from there we can go to ancient Sumeria. It's steps to freedom, and people have to be taught history chronologically correctly. So that's the reason why you don't hear me speaking about it a lot, because we still got Negroes in the hoods being so oppressed, depressed, and suppressed by education and school systems. Let's talk about that first. Then we can start talking deeper about deeper things in history once we get you up out of the muckety muck that we in now.
Okay, so I know we're prolonging. Look, it's needed. Y'all need this information. We vibing out, but I do gotta ask. I just lost my thought on that. I'm listening. Yeah, rewind. I'm thinking about the last thing you just said. It lost me.
And for those that's on my comment board, yes, douching is a bad thing if you're doing it the wrong way. If you're putting good bacteria back into the vagina to regenerate the flora and the microbiome in the vagina, that's a very good thing. I'm talking about douching with herbal teas and herbal water. I'm not talking about douching with fermented vinegar and alcohol mixed with water. That is very bad for the vagina. vagina. So make sure when y'all listening to me, y'all have y'all ears in tune to what I'm talking about. It's two different types of douching.
Yeah,
You have chemical douching and you have herbal douching. Herbal douching have been going, it goes all the way back to Kemet. It goes all the way back to Sumeria, the Anunnaki. I mean, it goes back millions of years, y'all, and it's not bad at all. But
what about vaginal steaming?
Vaginal steaming is very, very good, you know, especially if you get you the right chair, you can sit down, and steaming is good for you too.
What do men do?
Men don't have to do anything because we have a external penis. Now, it is good. It is good every now and then to, you know, cleanse the tip of the penis and to open up the tip of the hole and, you know, cleanse around that, because a lot of fungus and stuff can get caught in that, and it causes a lot of bacteria vaginosis in women and a lot of yeast infections. A lot of women don't know that yeast infections also come from the yeast of a man eating food that is not broken down properly, and it ferments, and you know the digestive system is constipated and backed up, so when he ejaculate into that woman, all of them fragments of yeast is going into her vagina as well. So it's good to clean the head, most definitely, because a lot of men get in the shower and just they wash their penis real good, but they're not detailing, they not getting the head, they not opening up the tip and getting around the
y'all
tip.
Nasty.
And you need to, and yeah, they ain't nasty, they just haven't been
Nasty.
They haven't been taught how to truly bathe. My father wasn't in my life, and my uncles didn't teach me. You know, you gotta get in there with them. Like me with my son, I got in there with, look, this is what you do. You know, this is what you do. This is how you clean it. I taught him how to pee. No, you pee like this. Quit, hold it like that. How he learned how to poop. I got him a potty thing. I sit on the toilet. He sits on the toilet. This is crazy. The other day I would have sat on the toilet to use the bathroom, and I had my phone. He sit down on the toilet. He called me Abba. That's Hebrew for father. Okay. Abba with my phone. So he on the phone watching Spider-Man. I'm on the phone going through Facebook, and we both on. But it takes them to see. They have to be shown. You can't see some things. You can't teach with sound waves and with the verbism. You have to literally show and be the example. That's why it's important that the black man and the black God is actually inside the household with the black woman, because the little black boy is walking around seeing his mother as father, and he see them as qualities and strengths. So then he start taking on them characteristics, and he don't be gay at all. He just be effeminate as hell, because all he know is women, and that's what he know to identify with. We have to bring balance back to the household. That's why I believe that the mother and father are supposed to be in the household together.
That's powerful, because I know you talk about a black family dynamic and how it's a big threat to the Babylonian infrastructure.
Yes.
You say that a lot on your page.
Yes, that was a weapon that was actually produced in the about around 1740s is when this thing was produced, and the main thing was to destruct the black family and to get the black man up out of the household. That's why you have food stamps. That's why you have the welfare system. That's why you have public housing. Notice in public housing, you cannot have a man in the house, and it even went deeper, probably like 40 to 20 years ago, where they will go inside of the household to check to see if there was any signs of a man living there. And if the man was living there, you had to get your ass out.
That sounds like the census.
Yeah, no, that's why they be knocking on my door. Get your ass away from my. You ain't finna be counting numbering Israel. David got punished for numbering Israel. You ain't finna be numbering us, seeing how many of us it is.
They say that's the way we are stimulated.
It is, and that's the way they create redlining, marginalizing. That's how they know which people they gonna give loans to. They have to create a census. Let's go door to door to see how many niggas in this neighborhood, and then now we know by this zip code. If they come and ask for a bank loan and they put in this zip code, we ain't giving them a damn thing.
Do you pay attention to the drones flying over the black area?
Yes, I pay attention. I'm open. Like,
well, look, I shouldn't ask you that, but I gotta ask. Let me talk to you like I'm about to put you on something. Have you seen the drones flying at nighttime?
Yeah, my third eye wide open. No, I'm very observative. So
in the black community.
Yeah, in the black community. Yeah, it's called.
If y'all don't know,
anytime war come, before war, you have to spy. You have to collect data. That's what they did in the Bible when they finally went into the Holy Land. Moses sent men to go spy on the land and then come bring back intellectual properties and intellectual information of the warriors. That's the same thing. We're being monitored for they can see how we moving and reacting for when they move in and implement their plan. They'll catch us with our pants down. It's just all of these are strategies of war.
So you feel like a war is coming soon?
No, we are in a war coming soon. What do you think that is when
Race
you're
war?
black?
Which war?
All of them. What do you think it is when a white man kill a black man in the street? That's war.
Okay.
What you think when they putting chemtrails in the skies that's killing you and putting all type of nanobot technology inside of your bloodstream? That's war.
So do we turn this?
What you think
cheek?
when they turn the other cheek? No, that's the white Jesus. I don't believe in white Jesus. Oh, I don't believe in
So
turning
we
the other
supposed to
cheek.
fight back.
Yes, you stand up and you fight. Just like in the Bible, he told them if you want that land, you got to go fight for that land. Go kill the Canaanites. Go kill the Hittites, the Jebusites, and take the land. Take the promised land. Same thing that's going to have to happen with us. We're going to have to take the promised land.
And they say until blood is shed, that's when change will start.
Look, and that's the realest statement ever. That sound like Marcus Garvey or Huey P. Newton. Malcolm X.
All our powerful leaders. Look, it's big.
Yeah, man. Dr. Ben Clark, Dr. Amos Wilson. There's so many of them. If I
ask you, do you read?
I read a book a day.
Like the full book?
Yeah, well, not now. I used to, but I've been so busy now, and I probably read like a half a book a day. Like I just stayed up till I ain't even been to sleep yet.
Yeah,
because I
3 hours.
Because I had to study, and I knew if I went to sleep, I wouldn't be here right now. So I stayed up and I read the book. I was reading Building a Black Nation by Kume Antum. It's a real good book, and it just shows you the 4 steps to freedom, man. We implementing it in our plan too. So
before we wrap, do you believe Killer Mike did a show a couple of years ago where it's called Killer Mike Trigger Warning, where he sat and did a whole recreation of black people. Like he went to the government.
Yeah, no, yeah, it was deep. It was deep. I like that.
Can we do that? Do you feel like we can literally create a nation?
Yes,
and still be here though.
Yeah, we are already a nation. If you look in the book of Jeremiah chapter 29, this is when Yisrael was going into captivity under Nebuchadnezzar in Babylon. He told them in the midst of their enemies to build ye houses, to plant ye vineyards, to marry your sons and your daughters amongst each other, and stay separated and unique and different from everybody. Everybody want to run back to Africa. I feel you on that. That's our motherland. I get that. But you have to realize that the same communism, the same wars, and the same genocide, and the same warfare, psychological warfare is going on in our homeland as well. With the British. You have the colonization of the Congo with the British. The same thing is going on worldwide. The only solution to this problem is us putting aside our petty ass differences and unifying as a collective whole, as a African mindset. Then we'll be able to overthrow the system. For one, it's too many of us. For one, we're stronger, we're more intellectual, and we got the most money. The money passes our hands the most. We have all the means we need to take our freedom. It's just niggas scared.
But we don't though. You say we do, but our money doesn't even translate within. It's going within 6 hours.
But that's why in the way. When y'all bring Nabi back, he's going to talk about the financial literacy institute that we building in the system, and it's going to be here in Atlanta.
But we gonna talk because I need some credit repair too.
But we have something within Heaven Sent, which is another branch of the movement that we have that teach you how to get your credit together.
I told you to add me to the branch.
To show you credit leverage. So
I need it. Look, we're gonna sit down, King. He got some powerful kings in the house. Look, it's a network, like he says. It's teams. Great minds think alike. They're linked, connected. So you can't have.
That's what Africans stand for. African stands for people, not individuals. African is a people. I know y'all hate the word because it comes from Africanus. I know y'all hate the word America because it comes from Americanus, and these are two great colonizers. But I use the word African because we identify with that. African used to be called by its tribal name, just like America. When no such thing as Minnesota, it was called Blackfoot. When no such thing as Missouri, it was called White Hawk. When the such thing as Tennessee, it was called a ribbon bird. You see what I'm saying?
Have you ever heard that we are Africa because of red dirt?
Yeah, I heard that a lot. But you have something called plurality and duality. Just like if you go to India right now, half of the spots in India are named after the same things and have the same mineral content in the ground as of Israel. Same thing as Egypt. You have pyramids out here too. Pyramids in Mexico. You have different spots and everything. I believe that it's something called portals in the earth, or what we'll call vortexes. And around these different because the earth is a biological living entity, which means it have to have chakras. So every continent, you have 7 continents continents. On every continent, you have a chakra within the earth. And this chakra mimics the exact same thing down to even the geopolitical structure, down to the minerals, down to the energy, down to the vortex. It mimics the same thing as every other chakra on every other continent and every other 7 seas. See, we have to identify with the 7. The 7 is a very, very beautiful number because it represents completion, and all things live and is connected by 7 degrees, and that's how Earth is. So I believe that you can look inside of America and find Africa or find the Holy Land. I do. But there is the Africa in the Holy Land.
Oh my God.
You have to realize Earth is a dimensional plane. It's a plane. It's a dimensional plane, you know.
Don't go. Are you about to say the Earth is flat?
No, most definitely. The Earth is most definitely flat.
Your Earth is flat theory.
Well, I wouldn't say flat, but it ain't round. It's a plane.
It's not the globe.
That's why you get on the airplane. What is a plane? When you look at a plane, it's a flat surface. So, you know, I don't, and again, you know, I've never been to the top of this deal and looked down. So conclusively, I can't tell you. And I'm humble enough and intellectual enough to say I really don't know. But from common sense and from what I've seen and what I studied, this deal is most definitely not round like a globe.
I do know the globe isn't real. It's too many different, you know, definitions of pictures of it on the line. So that's how I know. But look, I thank you for coming down. This has been a great, insightful vibe. Like, one of the things you talked about is us getting to know each other by learning in chronological order. It took me a long time to get that out. What is the first step for us refreshing? The first step.
Food. Follow the food. Everybody say follow the money. No, follow the food.
Follow the food.
Follow the food.
I got that. Follow the food.
You follow the food and you change your diet. The information and the intellectual properties from the food will have you start identifying with the ancestral genetic codes that's inside of it. Food is what unlocks DNA, because food is what rebirths your DNA.
But you're not saying go full alkaline, or are you saying we need to go full alkaline?
I think we need to go more than full alkaline. You know, you have the Dr. Sebi alkaline, and then you have the true alkaline. The true alkaline is fruits and vegetables without it being cooked. You don't see animals in nature cooking their food. I've never seen a gorilla with a pot and pan and some canola oil.
Have you eaten meat before?
Yes, of course. I ate meat all throughout my life, all the way up until about 8 years ago.
How long did it take you to get off of it?
I'm the type of person, when it's wrong and I know it's wrong and I feel like I'm going to die, just like I stopped cold turkey snorting cocaine. I stopped, well, I ain't going to say stop cold turkey, but I stopped eating meat. The last thing I ate was some bison and some fish, and I put it down after that.
You say snorting coke like it's a skipping down the street, you know there.
It was like skipping down the street for me.
Look, I'm done. With the opioid crisis in the black community too, that's not.
Yeah, but I mean, we still have an opioid crisis in the community called dopamines. It's produced by the food we eat. The food we eat give us sexual stimulation and get us high too. Just like you addicted to cocaine, a lot of us is addicted to sugar cane. What's the difference?
Look, you blowing my mind. Y'all take? Look.
It's all neurological toxins. So
this is Yah'ki Awakened. This is No Division Uncut. It's been a vibe. I thank y'all for tuning in. Do you want to say some farewell words?
I just tell y'all to, you know, you are God. Look in the mirror. Change your diet. Meditate. Make sure you're doing breathing exercises. Pick up black books written by black authors and read them. Find out your true history. Don't be limited minded. Get out of religion, because that shit is oppressing us, depressing us, and oppressing us. Stick with black women. Have black babies. Stick with black men and have black babies. Quit giving all of our love and our intellect and our genetic codes over into these different races of species of man, and just love yourself so we can really build. Let's put aside of all our differences and ideologies, and let's come together as a collective African whole, and let's take our freedom.
This is No Division Uncut. You've been locked in, tapped in, tuned in, and connected. It's been a vibe. I thank you for connecting. You heard the king.
All right, hey, peace, love, light, and healing. Peace to the gods, peace to the earth. Peace.
We out. Thank you. That was dope.
All praise.
Woo! And it's all